Hello everybody, we're back revisiting this windswept Sawara cypress. As you can see, I've just let it do its own thing, grow freely, grow some vigour, and it's grown well. Much to my disappointment, there hasn't been a huge amount of back budding. If you look inside the foliage pads, such as they are, it's back budding where there is life, but not so much back on the older wood. But this being a windswept example, I don't think that's a huge issue with this particular tree. First thing I want to address is this jumbled area here. This is the one bit of back budding I did get, which I think if I show you from this angle, it back budded just in here, and this whole lump is the end result. See if I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, so this was where it back budded, and I'm actually going to remove that. Now I think it's done its job. I left it there to help fatten up the trunk a little bit. I'm not going to remove it in its entirety. It has life right back, so first of all, just going to take off some of it. It will just clear out this space and allow us to see where we're going with these branches. I don't think it's going to be necessary in the final design. I have an image in my head of this tree, and this branch isn't really included. Now, I realise you couldn't actually see most of that. I do apologise. Didn't work out. Anyway, I hope you can see I removed this much. There is still green shoots there, so that branch will regrow and may or may not end up as part of the final design. So I want to concentrate on these branches. As I say, I have an image in my head of this tree being battered and blown, and the prevailing wind obviously coming from this direction. This is not part of the final design either. I actually see in my mind's eye 3 dead Jins coming off the top of this tree. Cooper doesn't think that, no, shaking his head. It's not his tree, he doesn't actually realise that. So yeah, so this I am going to cut this back so I have 3 shoots and everything else will go. So I've already kind of pre-selected the shoots that I want to keep. Cooper, you're going to lie there, are you? Alright then. Okay, so I'm making a real pig's ear of this video. Okay, so this top part is just feeding the tree. I want, the vision in my head is 3 Jins, so I'm going to cut back a lot of this and just leave 3 shoots. Okay, so those will be my 3 shoots that will eventually become 3 Jins. Okay, so that's the sort of main structural pruning done for today. I have just the task now of pinching out these shoots and trying to make a pad. Now, with a juniper or some other species, this is quite a painful process. You almost need to wear gloves with some species. They're very spiky. With the Sawara cypress, it's almost like fur more than foliage. Very soft, very tactile. I'm actually going to cut those off as they're sticking up in favour of these shoots which are facing outwards. What I want is these pads to stay low and elongate in this direction. Don't want too thick, too luxurious a foliage, because obviously it's in a windswept and battered tree, but don't want to remove so much as to kill it. So that's that little branch, that's the lowest branch. Obviously needs to put on some growth. At the moment these top branches are actually bigger, which is not ideal, but we'll get there. So again, I'm just pinching out the top growth that's growing straight upwards. And it's almost like, if any of you have ever plucked a chicken, it's almost like plucking a chicken. So I'm also pulling off any bits that are growing downwards, trying to keep the lines under the branch smooth. I'm pulling this one back in quite a bit to try and keep the proportions a little bit neater. Don't know how well, I have an awful feeling a lot of this isn't being shown on screen. Okay, just to recap then, because I don't think I got a lot of that. I've finger pruned these 2 branches, and I'm going to continue on with the rest. These I've actually wired. I'm going to bend slightly to bring down a little bit, and then I'm going to just pinch away. It's quite shaggy in places. Again, it is almost like plucking a chicken. Apologies to any vegetarians or vegans out there. It's quite therapeutic. As I say, it's almost like the texture of fur. The beauty also of doing it with your fingertips is that you won't get the brown edges that you get if you cut. Okay, so what we have, I'm now going to bring this branch in together, and then that will hopefully start to form into one pad. So again, take off anything that's sticking out down below. You can see that that's beginning to look a little bit tidier, definitely more windswept. This branch is starting to compete with that one. Again, I've pre-wired it and I'm just going to bring it around, down a little bit, and then it will get plucked. I think I may have to just go in with the scissors a little bit on this one. We'll get some brown edges there, but they will disappear. Okay, I think that branch needs to come down a little bit, so I will probably put some wire on that later. In the meantime, I'm going to work on this one. Again, these branches have been wired, I'll pull them together into one pad. This bit I'm going to cut. So, just to forget what I said earlier, there is a bit of back budding that has occurred on a old piece of wood there, so hopefully that will fill in this section of the pad. Okay, move around the tree. Occasionally I'm having to resort to using the scissors because it's grown quite coarse. Still very soft to the touch, but not conducive to the method I was using of just plucking it. So again, trying to make one pad where the branches split into two. Finally, this top one. Okay, so I've removed quite a lot of material. And that is the end result. Obviously, in a few years' time, that will disappear and we will just have the 3 Jin. I think I will wire that branch down a little bit lower. Also that one. But I won't bore you with that. I'll do that off camera. Give you a quick 360. Obviously this is the windward side. Just blown everything away from it. This is the back. And this is the side you'd stand, I guess, to be shaded from the wind. Do you get shaded from the wind? Shaded from the sun. Well, you get shaded by the wind, but there you go. There's a thing to ponder. Okay. Well, that's all for this tree, so thank you very much. Thank you for watching.